Hi, this is Brett. Here's a quick lesson how to learn how to solo. So, a lot of people when they first start learning guitar, they think somehow that to solo you're gonna have to know like a lot of scales, which is sometimes true if you really want to know what you're doing and you really want to have control over like a chord progression you've never heard. But there are a lot of ways to learn how to solo and make up your own ideas that don't require very much knowledge. So the best way that I found, and it took me a while to discover this, is if you just hit the A string like this, and you just keep hitting the A string, and then you just pick a fret on the B string, like anywhere, and you use two fingers. So you can use these two fingers. You just pick, like, I could pick the 8th fret, and you just think, like, what does it sound like? Like, what kind of mood does it have? So already that sounds bluesy, and then you just pick another note. So I'm going from 8 to 5. Or you pick a different note and see what kind of mood it has. So I did the 7th fret instead of the 8th fret on the B string. I'm just doing the same thing. It sounds kind of soft. So I'm going from 7 to 5. Onto the 12th fret. So 5, 7, 5, 12, 10. Sounds kind of like happy. So I'll do the 7th fret, see if I can make maybe a little sadder sounding. That sounds bad. 7. Maybe the 3rd fret, 7 to 3. 7, 5, 3. 2. So what you're learning how to do, the more you do this, you're training your ear to pick up on different types of tones, because a lot of people just learn chords but they don't really think about like what kind of mood it has, and maybe it's getting too complicated. But here you only have 2 notes at a time, and the more you do this, the better your ear will start to get. So I'll do it again. Let's say I did the 1st fret. So that sounds pretty dark. So I'm going 1, 0, 1, 3, 1. And all I'm doing is the A string with the B string. The 6th fret sounds pretty dark. Or you could try to make it sound really creepy. You could do like the 4th fret. And what's weird is the more you do this, your ear will get adjusted to different types of tones and intervals. These are called intervals. Like, this might sound really bad at first, but if you get used to it, it's not a bad thing to actually get used to different. So that's pretty dissonant. So basically just pick a note, see what it sounds like, and then try to find another note. And a lot of my students, they're not comfortable doing this sort of activity. So what I have them do is actually find pick one note, so that one sounds good, and then pick another note randomly. Let's say I did the 9th fret. Sounds pretty bad. So if you find a note that sounds bad, then try the 2 notes around it. So that sounds pretty bad. I went from 5 to 9. So the 2 notes around it sounded better. And in general, if you find a bad note, like when I'm soloing all over the guitar, I hit bad notes occasionally. If I hit a bad note, I just go quickly around it, find the other 2 notes. Or you can get kind of sneaky about it, and let's say I hit this one. You can just slide. Or I asked one of my former teachers, because he seemed to never make mistakes, and he kind of laughed about it, because he would solo for like hours at different coffee shops and places. He would just play jazz music, and he said he would make mistakes all the time, but the one thing he would do is just repeat the mistake. So let's say he accidentally hit this note and he didn't mean to. He would go, he's going, and he accidentally hit that. Then he would come back around later and do it again. a lot of musical meaning is just repetitions. And back to this though, back to this. So if you hit a bad note, it sounds really bad, and then try the two around it. Let's say I try a different note. It sounds really bad, the 11th fret. So, oh, it sounds bad, the 4th fret. And once you can do this on the with the A string and the B string, then what you do is just change your thumb to the E string occasionally. So you keep doing it. Switch to the E string, and then you go back to the A string. So using these two, and you can start with the E string instead. And then back to the A string. You can change the speed of how often you pinch. And basically what you're doing is you're changing the types of intervals and you're changing the types of chords, because these are substituting for chords. And then once you get good at that, you can put your thumb on the D string and do the same process. Back to the A string. Back to the E string. And then the final step is you can start incorporating the top string or the G string. So that's why I start on the B string, because then I can go up or down. So you start like with the A string. And you can change the bass. And then what I like to do too is, like, once I get one mood going, I like to try to get another mood. So this is pretty dark. And maybe I'll try to get like a jazz mood going. Maybe. So like this note's could be kind of jazzy. So I'm gonna keep going. So basically you just do a thumb, B string, find notes that are interesting, then try changing the bass, then try incorporating more. And remember too, if you ever hit a bad note, like I'm soloing, oh, bad note, just go to the two around it. And so, like, let's say that's a really horrible note, but let's say I accidentally did it. I'll do it one more time, recovery. So see, I just did it a few times, and then your brain will start to get used to it, and it won't sound that bad. But anyways, that's it. So hopefully someone gets something out of this, because it helped me a lot. All right, bye.